It is the first truly hot Saturday in June. The pool box is still sitting in your garage, right where you set it back in March when it went on sale, and you told yourself this was the summer. The grandkids are coming in 2 weeks. The forecast says 90 degrees. And you are standing in the backyard with a tape measure in your hand, trying to picture where this thing is supposed to go. Somewhere in the back of your mind is your neighbor's pool, the one that went up crooked 2 summers ago, leaned a little more every week, and got drained and hauled to the curb before the 4th of July. You have heard the stories: pools that fold over sideways, liners that split at the seam, a big dead circle burned into the yard as a souvenir. But here is what the instruction sheet inside that box will never tell you. A failed above-ground pool is almost never a pool problem. It is a ground problem, and the groundwork is the one part of this whole job you can get completely right with a shovel, a level, and one honest weekend. Stay with me to the end, because the rule I am going to repeat all day, that you never build the ground up to level a pool, you only ever dig it down, has a real reason behind it. It comes down to one specific thing that 35,000 pounds of water does to loose soil, and once you hear it, you will never be tempted to cheat that step again. I'm Larry Mitchell. For 25 years, I ran the lawn and garden counter at our town's hardware store. And every June, I watched folks buy a pool on Friday and come back Monday asking what went wrong. I have kept my own suburban lawn here in Ohio for decades, and my wife Diane will tell you I have opinions about anything that sits on grass. So let's talk about what actually goes wrong, because it is almost always one of the same 3 things. The pool goes up on ground that is not level. Or the pool goes up on ground that got leveled the fast way, by piling loose dirt onto the low side. Or the pool goes up right on top of the grass, and by the middle of July the whole thing is sitting on a slippery mat of rotting turf. Every one of those mistakes happens before a single drop of water goes in. And the cost is real money. A ruined liner runs you a couple $100. A pool wall that folds over is a total loss, anywhere from $300 to over $1,000 in the trash, plus a dead ring pressed into your lawn where it stood. I watched that story walk up to my counter every single summer, and the fellow telling it always blamed the pool. 9 times out of 10, the pool was fine. The ground under it was the problem. Now the paper in the box says to place your pool on firm, level ground. And that is about all it says. It does not tell you how. And it certainly does not explain why the shortcut everybody takes, shoveling loose dirt onto the low side, is the one mistake you cannot come back from. I will get to that why before we are done, and I promise you it is worth the wait. Today we do this the right way, start to finish, together. Now, before the first shovel goes in the ground, one quick word, because it belongs in this project. Every pool install tears open a ring of bare soil, and bare, disturbed soil is an open invitation for crabgrass and clover to move in around your beautiful new pool by July. The plan I use to stop that, and to clear out the weeds you already have, is written down in my book, Larry's 30-Day Weed Kill Protocol. It is the exact day-by-day system I follow to wipe out clover, crabgrass, dandelions, and the rest in 30 days, and keep them from coming back. Written for folks who are tired of fighting the same weeds every single season. 88 pages, no fluff, just the plan, in the same step-by-step style we are using today. It walks you through identifying the big 7 lawn killers, the full kill protocol with tools, products, safety, and budget, organic and pet-safe alternatives, rebuilding the lawn afterward, and my month-by-month prevention calendar. Right now it is $17, marked down from $47. That is $17, less than 1 bottle of the stuff that does not work. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen, and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right. Shovels ready. Step 1, and this one costs nothing but thinking. Step 1 is picking the spot, and I want you to walk the backyard with me before you commit to anything. First, look up. You want a spot that gets at least 6 hours of direct sunlight a day, because sunshine is free pool heat, and a pool in the shade stays cold clear into August. While you are looking up, look at the trees. A pool under a maple or an oak means skimming leaves every single morning, and tree roots under the ground can push up over time. Give the tree some room. Second, look down. You want ground that is already close to flat because every inch of slope is an inch you will be digging by hand. Walk the yard slowly after a rain and watch where the water goes. If a corner of the yard collects puddles, that corner is off the list because you do not want your pool sitting in the wet. Third, look around. Keep the pool at least 6 feet from the fence, the shed, the deck, and the house, so you can walk all the way around it. That is 6 feet on every side, and you will thank yourself every time you need to reach the filter. Fourth, and this one matters, look underneath. Before any digging happens in your yard, call 811. That is the free national call before you dig line, and they will come mark your buried gas, water, and electric lines with little flags, usually within a couple of business days. It costs nothing, and it can save your life. And one last thing while we are standing here. Your pump and filter need power, and they need it from a proper outdoor outlet with ground fault protection, the kind with the little test and reset buttons. If you do not have one within reach, have an electrician add one before the pool goes up. A string of extension cords running across wet grass is not a plan. Step 2 is marking the circle, and this part is honestly kind of fun. Find the center of your chosen spot and drive a wooden stake into the lawn. Tie a string to that stake. Now measure the string to half the width of your pool, plus 1 extra foot. So for a 15-foot pool, your string is 7.5 feet, plus 1 more, which makes 8.5 feet. That extra foot gives you working room around the wall. Tie a can of marking spray paint to the end of the string. Walk a full circle around the stake, keeping the string tight, spraying as you go. When you stand back, there is a clean painted ring on the grass, and that ring is your whole job site. Everything we do from here happens inside that circle. Step 3 is stripping the sod, which is a fancy word for the grass and the top inch of roots it lives in. And I want to be plain about this, because I watched so many folks skip it. Grass must never stay under a pool. It cannot survive under there, so it dies. And dead grass under a liner turns into a slick, lumpy, rotting layer that smells bad and settles unevenly. Take it all out. You have 2 ways to do it. The first way is a flat shovel, sliding it under the turf an inch or 2 deep and peeling the grass up in strips. It works fine, and it is a workout. The second way is renting a sod cutter from the rental counter for a morning, which does the same job in a fraction of the time on a big circle. Either way, everything green and everything root comes out of that painted ring. Rocks and sticks, too. What you want left is plain, bare, undisturbed soil. And notice that word, undisturbed. Remember the rule from the start: dig down, never build up. This step is where that rule begins, and the reason behind it is still coming. Trust me on this one, it is the best part of the whole video. One more thing before we move on. Those strips of sod you just peeled up are good grass. Lay them on any bare spots elsewhere in the yard, water them in, and they will knit right down. Free repair, courtesy of your new pool. That handles the grass. But it leaves you with the big one. Step 4 is leveling, and this is the step that decides everything, so we are going to slow down and take our time. There is no rush here at all. Go find the longest, straightest board you can. An 8-foot 2x4 is perfect. Tape a carpenter's level to the top of it. Lay one end of the board at your center stake and let it reach out toward the edge of the circle, like the hand of a clock. Read the bubble. Now swing the board a couple feet around the circle, like the clock ticking forward, and read it again. Work your way all around. What you are hunting for is the lowest spot in the whole circle, because the lowest spot is your target. Every high spot gets dug down to match it. Let me say that again because it is the whole ball game. You dig the high ground down to meet the low ground. You never ever shovel loose dirt into the low spots to bring them up, no matter how tempting that shortcut looks at 4 in the afternoon. Scrape the high areas down with your flat shovel, sweep the loose crumbs away, lay the board back down, and check the bubble again. Then move the board and check again. Your goal is a circle that is level to within 1 inch, top to bottom, across the whole thing. That is 1 inch total, and closer is better. This step can take a full afternoon, and I want you to hear me say that a full afternoon is normal. The fellow who rushes this step in an hour is the fellow buying a new pool next June. Step 5 is the base, and after all that digging, this part feels like frosting a cake. Spread mason sand over your leveled circle, about 2 inches deep everywhere. That is 2 inches. Roughly a 200-pound job for a small pool and closer to a ton delivered for a 15-footer. So have the garden center drop it as close to the circle as the truck can get. Rake it smooth. Then mist it lightly with the garden hose. Just damp, not muddy. Now tamp it down. You can rent a hand tamper, which is just a flat steel plate on a pole, and you work your way across the whole circle in overlapping passes, until the sand is firm enough to walk on without leaving deep footprints. Check it one more time with your board and level, because the sand should follow the level ground underneath it. Now, if your pool is the metal frame kind, like the one going up today, there is one more touch. Set a flat concrete paver under the spot where each upright leg will stand, worked down into the sand so the top of each paver sits flush and level. Those legs carry real weight, and a paver keeps them from sinking in over the summer. Take your time getting each one flat. There is no rush. Step 6 is the frame, and my best advice here has nothing to do with tools. Pick a calm day. A pool wall in a gusty wind is a 15-foot sail, and it will fight you. Get a second pair of hands, your spouse, a neighbor, a grandkid who owes you a favor. Before anything gets connected, open every box and lay all the parts out on the lawn in rows and count them against the parts sheet. Missing pieces are easier to sort out before assembly than halfway through it. Then follow your manual's order, because every brand differs a little, but here is the counter-wisdom that applies to all of them. Fit everything together loose first. Do not fully tighten a single fitting until the entire frame is standing and shaped like a proper circle. Once the whole skeleton is up and round, then go around and snug everything down. If you tighten as you go, the last few pieces never quite reach, and you will be taking it half apart at supper time. Step 7 is the liner, and there is a little trick here that makes the whole job easier. Pick the warmest, sunniest day you can, 70 degrees or better. Take the folded liner out of its box and lay it out flat on the driveway in the sunshine for half an hour. A warm liner turns soft and stretchy and forgiving. A cold liner fights you like a stubborn tarp. When it is warm, take your shoes off, because socks or bare feet is the rule inside the pool from here on. Drape the liner into the frame and get it hanging evenly all the way around, following your manual for how it attaches at the top. Then work the wrinkles out of the floor with your bare feet, always pushing from the center out toward the wall. Do not chase perfection yet. The water is about to help you, which brings us to the moment of truth. Step 8 is the fill, and I need your full attention for the first part, because this is the last exit on the highway. Put the garden hose in and run just a few inches of water, and then stop. Stop right there. That little bit of water does 2 jobs. First, its weight settles the liner, so this is your last easy chance to smooth the remaining floor wrinkles out with your feet, center to wall. Second, and more important, water is the most honest level ever made. Walk the outside of the pool and look at where the water line sits against the wall all the way around. If the water sits noticeably higher on one side than the other, more than an inch, I want you to do the hard, brave thing. Drain it, pull the liner, and fix the ground now. I know that stings. But a few inches of water costs you pennies and an hour. A full pool on bad ground costs you the whole pool, and I will show you exactly why in just a minute, because we have almost arrived at the thing I promised you at the start. If your water line reads even, congratulations. Open the hose up and let it run. A 15-foot pool holds around 4,400 gallons, and a garden hose delivers that in somewhere around 8 to 10 hours, so this is an all-day fill. Check the water line again when it is about a quarter full, just to be sure. While it fills, set up your pump and filter per the manual, plugged into that outdoor ground fault outlet we talked about, never a daisy chain of extension cords. And when it comes to the chlorine and the test strips, same thing I said across the counter for 25 years. Read the label, the whole label, and follow it exactly, especially with kids and pets around. Now, one section on the lawn itself, because the pool and the grass have to be neighbors for the next 10 years. 3 small habits keep the peace. First, the splash zone. Splash out water with proper pool chemistry is diluted enough that your grass generally shrugs it off, but grass that stays soggy every afternoon invites disease. So if one side catches all the cannonball spray, keep an eye on it and let it dry between swims. Second, the traffic path. The route from the back door to the pool ladder gets walked 50 times a day in July, and bare feet wear a dirt trail into a lawn faster than you would believe. Lay a few stepping stones along that path now before the trail appears. Third, that ring of disturbed soil around the pool wall. The fresh edge we created today. Keep it either mulched or seeded, because nature does not leave bare soil bare for long. And what nature plants there, you will not like. And that brings us to the part I promised you at the very start. Why is dig down? Never build up an iron rule. Why not just shovel some dirt into the low side, tamp it real good, and call it level? Here is the thing about water. It is heavier than almost anyone realizes. 1 gallon weighs a little over 8 pounds. Your 15-foot pool holds around 4,400 gallons. Multiply that out and you are parking roughly 35,000 pounds on your dirt work. 35,000 pounds. That is heavier than a loaded school bus sitting in your backyard all summer. Now the undisturbed soil in your yard has been packed down by rain, frost, and gravity for 50 or 100 years. It is done settling. It can hold that bus without moving a hair. But loose-filled dirt, no matter how hard you tamp it with a hand tamper, is still full of tiny air pockets, and under 35,000 pounds those pockets slowly squeeze shut. The filled side sinks, even just half an inch. And here is the cruel part. Water always finds its own level, so the moment that side sinks, the water shifts toward it, which puts even more weight on the low side, which squeezes it down further, which pulls more water over. It feeds on itself a little more every week, exactly like my neighbor's pool leaning a little more every Sunday. Eventually, thousands of pounds are shoving sideways against one section of wall that was engineered to be pushed straight down, and the wall folds, or the seam lets go. That is the whole secret. Soil you dig down to has already spent a lifetime settling. Soil you pile up starts settling the day you fill the pool. Dig down, never build up. Now you know why, and now you will never cheat it. And honestly, that same lesson is the story of the bare ring of soil sitting around your new pool right now. Nature is already making plans for it, and her plans are crabgrass and clover. Larry's 30-day weed kill protocol is the plan I follow to beat her to it. It is the day-by-day system for wiping out clover, crabgrass, dandelions, and the rest in 30 days, plus the prevention side that keeps them from ever coming back. $17, down from $47, and it replaces the pile of bottles you would otherwise buy this year alone. If the lawn around that new pool matters to you, this is the one thing on the shelf I would hand you across the counter. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up. Give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So here is the whole job in one breath. Pick a sunny, flat, safe spot, call 811, strip every blade of grass, dig the high side down to meet the low side, 2 inches of tamped sand, pavers under the legs, warm liner, and check your level at the first few inches of water before you commit. Do that, and the grandkids are swimming in a pool that will still be standing straight 10 summers from now. Tell me in the comments what state you're in and whether your pool is going up this weekend or still sitting in the garage. I read every single one, and next time I am going to show you why the strip of lawn on the shady north side of a pool grows more weeds than the rest of the yard put together, and the 10-minute fix each fall that stops it cold. You've got this, neighbor. I'll see you out on the lawn.